All right.
Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. What a morning it has already been, and the day is young. Wow, what a turnaround. And we're going to talk today all about, I was all set to talk about like the end of the quarter and the themes we saw and the end of the month and where do we go from here in Q4. And no, I don't care about any of that now. All I want to talk about is Merck, and then after that, we might talk about Merck. Because that is the story of the day. They're out with some key data from a phase 3 trial on a COVID-19 pill. Basically, the Tamiflu of COVID is what it looks to be. We'll talk about that. We will talk after that, if we can ever move on from that, about the Zoom 5-9 merger that is now dead. We'll talk about EV stocks. We have some deliveries out this morning. Lordstown had some more news. So we got a lot to get to on the show today. I'm excited. Real fast, Marcus Highcarter will not be on the show today. And what happened was his people had a miscommunication with my people. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, there's no way that Spencer has people. But I do have people. And there was a miscommunication. Marcus is going to be on our show starting next Friday. That's the plan. I've been assured that. So you're stuck with the three of us for the rest of the hour, everyone. And I'm fired up because we got a lot going on. So let's bring up Joel's charts. And, actually, before I do that, quick plug. The next PreMarket Prep Weekend Extravaganza is what I'm calling it, is October 16th. That's in 2 weeks. That's in 15 days. 2 weeks from tomorrow. October 16th, 9 to 12:30.
Extra half hour in there for you guys.
Joel was kind enough to make a promo code for all PreMarket Prep listeners, and that code is on the screen now. It's BZ10. That looks like an I on the screen, but it's not. It's a 1. BZ10 is your code. PreMarketPrep.com. BZ code BZ10. And I'm taking that off the screen in 3, 2, and 1. All right, now let's get Joel's charts on the screen. And Joel, tell us about this market.
Wow. You had the old North Korean missile launch last night, and that took us down to 42.60. And then that blue arrow that you see there is when I woke up this morning, and I'm like, wow, that seems really low. Broke one of my own rules, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe, risk 10 points, try and get long at 42.70, right? Why not? A little bit overdone. Wrong. We could always figure out when the Merck news came out. So we've rallied to 43.18. That's our average daily range. So the buyers are going to have to be super aggressive, but we've seen that before. That's what we're looking at. And the close will be a good number, 97.75, if in fact we do get down there. Crude's down 62 cents at 74.40, backing off kind of mid-range for the week. Gold down 350 after a big day yesterday at 17.53.50. Silver going the opposite way. That's up 29 cents at 22.34. And Bitcoin, don't sell a sleepy market. That's what it was down here at 40K. Now we're pressing up. Big move in Bitcoin, wrapping up for the weekend. Up 41.50 at 47,765. And Ethereum futures are up a same on a percentage basis at 279.50. They're up 279.50 at 32.85. Triple D. We were talking on the pre-market show before you came on, and we were like, and I don't mean to laugh, Dennis, because you take losses better than anybody I know. And we're like, oh man, I don't know. I know Dennis is hedge. I know he does a lot of things, but it's hard to
Hedged wrong, man. Wrong stocks. It's and you know how it goes. is you'll have a run where you go 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 trading days. It's like, I'm just on fire. I can do no wrong. All the luck's breaking your way. It's like you're long a stock, it's upgraded the next day. You're making money there. All that luck comes around, though. And yesterday I had a terrible day. I was just on the wrong side of news on 3 or 4 stocks. And I'm like, come on. And this is in my overnight portfolio. Today, way worse than yesterday, on the wrong side of all the news. I was long Moderna overnight. I've already sold it. You lose 13 points on that thing because obviously the Merck news. We know I like Regeneron. It's getting hit on the Merck news as well because Merck's an alternative here now.
Big alternative.
Yeah. So let's go to the Merck news. It's what's moving. But yeah, I'm on the wrong side of a lot of trades today. So you know what you do when you're on the wrong side, having a bad day, you eat your losses, you move on.
GTFO.
That's all you can do is you just eat your losses and move on. This is where, other traders, a lot of traders, newer traders will say, well, I can't sell now because I'm on the wrong side of it. But, on my overnights, my long-term portfolio is different. But on my overnight trading, no matter what, it goes flat every single day, usually around 10, 10:30. I'm flat from all my overnights. So no matter what, no matter how it shakes out, not even if I'm losing like 10, I lost 19% on a stock yesterday. What do? I lose 19%. I eat it, book it, move on. You've just got to, that's what happens sometimes. You're on the wrong side of news. News doesn't go your way. You get hit the odd time. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it's not. Worst thing you can do is just sit on those losers, let them become bigger and bigger and bigger, and then that's where you have problems.
All right. Molnupiravir. That is the name. That is the name of this drug. So here is the situation. Joel and I have been thinking about Merck. Merck's been awfully quiet in the last year.
Dead month, yeah.
Here's the situation. There is a phase 3 study going on with about 775 people. They enrolled high-risk, unvaccinated people. And what they found was if you give those people show symptoms of COVID and you give them this pill, it's a pill, give them twice a day, within 5 days of symptoms surfacing, you give them this pill twice a day, there was a 50% reduction in hospitalization and death just by taking this pill twice a day within 5 days of first showing symptoms. So the data, it sounds good. It was so good that they stopped the trial early. They've already applied for emergency use. The U.S. has already ordered $1.2 billion worth of doses that won't be fulfilled unless we get the emergency use, obviously. But if we do, then it will be fulfilled. Merck's talking. They're already talking about how much capacity they have to produce. But yeah, game changer. If there is a pill out there that you can take that will reduce your chances of going to the hospital or dying from COVID by half, which is it was 48%. So basically half. Then that's a game changer. That is a total game. It's basically what I said at the top. It's the Tamiflu of COVID. So,
question. This is good news. This is good news overall. I wish it wasn't on this day because I just happen to be long the wrong stocks overnight, but it's good news. I am still long Merck in my long-term portfolio, so I guess I make a little bit of money there. I don't think it's big enough for my Regeneron losses, but it is what it is. I mean, this is good news. I mean, we want to beat COVID. We want to get back to normal. So what I anticipate happening today, and you're starting to see it happen, is a reopening trade.
Yeah.
So you've got to take the information that the market gives you, and then you make, your opinions and make your theory for the day. Theory for the day, at least for the opening here, is likely reopening trade. And if we start looking, yes, Carnival Cruise Lines up 2.7%. Airlines, after they've been just in the gutter, and I mean they've been going down for 3 straight days, they are getting a relief pop. Deserved. Because if, you've got another drug that's going to help along with this, get us past COVID, the airlines, cruise lines, casinos all need to get past COVID in order to get back to their business as usual. And this is a step in the right direction.
Question.
Yes.
If you are vaccinated,
yes,
can you still take this drug?
Well, they didn't test it on that, but if you think about it like this, if they only tested on the unvaxxed high-risk people and there was a 50% reduction on hospitalization and death, then theoretically, anybody who has the vaccine or is not high risk should have even greater chances.
Do you think the non-vaxxers will take the pill, though?
If they're showing symptoms, why wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know.
Okay, so you asked about the non-vaxxers. Yeah. If you didn't get the vaccine by now, and there is now a pill that says that if you take it, there's a 50% chance reduction of going to the hospital or dying, then I gotta say this is not going to help the vaccine front at all. This is probably going to make it harder.
This is bad. This for the vaccine stuff. I mean, it's evident what's going on in the marketplace. But let's just go over Merck here. I mean, what a sleepy chart. We talked about this 70, 80, 70, 80. The institutions are buying here at 70. They're laughing all the way to the bank. You got the move. Okay, I'm still upset at myself for my triple BY call yesterday, so I'm not going to do any more 15-minute calls. But there's some resistance here, just under 82. I know there's probably a mound of stock. They're going to have to fill all those orders through 5-6 handles, Dennis. I'm not saying it can't open up here, but
volume's too high, Joel.
Yeah, no, I
mean,
know.
And here's the this thesis works when the volume is like 500,000 shares on an earnings report. This volume is high. It's at 3 million shares already this morning. It will chew through. I doubt there's like a million shares sitting at 76, 77. But I do agree with your theory of going to the book and looking at the book when the volume's lighter. The key, is that strategy is you got to look at what the volume is. The volume is simply too high. It's going to chew through everything in the book. So I again, I'm and I'm kind of agreeing with you. Am I buying Merck up $6 on this news?
No,
I'm not. Absolutely not. I'm long the stock, but I'm not coming in here and saying, yeah, I got to be long. I think you're buying this. You're doing it backwards, but I do believe it's going to open up fairly high. I think it could open over 80.
Yeah, I mean, right now it is. It's up. I mean, there's some more orders coming in, but I mean, to me, I look at the 15-minute chart. It poked at it 3 times. There's probably some more paper at 82. I don't think people pull these orders on days like this. I mean, they probably had a GTC out at, they want it. GTC at 78. Look at all those highs that you had at 79, and now you're at 80. So we'll see. I mean, the open's important. I mean, this opens up 82, stays 82 bid, 82.50, 82.75. Well, good luck to those that bought it off the open. The open's going to be a key print here because I don't see the DMM, going long on the opening print, but that's not as big a factor as used to. But we got to talk about the inverse and Pfizer. I mean, this is not good for Pfizer, and it's almost like the street knew it. 42.40 is the pre-market low. The low of the move so far has been 42.43. So interesting level there. If you are looking at daily support, Moderna hanging on by the hair of its chinny chin chin. That's getting blasted. That's at its pre-market low. You got to start thinking about the 350 area over the next couple days if this is going to stick. Novavax, that's in the red too. That's down to 14.5 sticks.
They're
right at the low of the session.
Vaccine makers.
Yeah, I mean it's bad news for them. You can't.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not good news for them at all. I mean, one is the vaccine makers. If they're going to continue, obviously pump out vaccines and boosters and everything, they benefit from a continued pandemic. So Pfizer again. Remember, Pfizer does so many other things. And I just still don't know how much of the revenue is coming. Obviously, significant, but BNTX is more the hit. So if you're wondering why Pfizer's only down 1%, BNTX down 5%, big difference. BNTX this is their drug. I mean, this is their company. For the most part, Pfizer's all kinds of other stuff going on. I still like Pfizer. I still like the drug stocks. I still like Regeneron. I'm getting crushed in it. Bad call for sure. Sticking in the long-term portfolio, but things trading at a reasonable multiple. Wrong though. Wrong.
It was a good call, but
it was a bad call. No, definitely
the wrong
not.
Stock. I mean, you said that your gut was that this isn't over, right? And that I don't know if you were thinking it's not over, it's going to get worse, or someone's going to come out with new drugs. But man, that's
I
just
just thought the vaccine, the people who aren't getting vaccinated are going to need the Regeneron drug.
yep.
That was my whole theory. Well, I just got just put right to bed with Merck. I mean, I didn't see that one come in the pill. So when I gave this theory 2 weeks ago, and I was saying I liked Regeneron at
New
640,
information.
yeah, it's new information. And now all of a sudden, but again, Regeneron, a lot of other drugs. I stuck in the long-term portfolio, one, because of valuation, two, because I thought there was a story here that, if it continued, we have people not getting vaccinated, getting hospitalized, Regeneron drug was helping. Now we have another drug to help. A pill sounds way better. So that's why Regeneron's down today.
All right, so we covered Pfizer, Moderna,
Yeah,
AstraZeneca, along the
David
AstraZeneca.
David Eisman put this in the chat. He was referring to the people that are on the fence of getting the vaccine, and I think it's a great point, right? I think the people that got the vaccines already, they'll get the boosters, no problem. The people that didn't get the vaccines, they ain't getting it. I think that's what I think the fence just got. There is no fence, right? It's just it's one. It's yes or it's no, and
They're going with the pill.
Oh, for sure.
Right, and
Why
there is
not?
no.
I mean, like, oh, we were right. You don't need that vaccine.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, whether you agree is almost irrelevant. But like the people that are on the fence are the fence is gone. I think those people are probably just not going to get the vaccine now. Even though the vaccine is more effective than the data from the Merck drug, the people that are not going to get it are not going to get it. There's a difference between a pill and a shot. Psychological, whatever. It's easier to take a pill than it is to get a shot.
Gives them options.
For sure,
it gives the unvaccinated options. So this is good news. This is good news
Oh,
for
yeah.
the world. I'm happy for the world. I'm
Me
happy
too,
that I
me
own
too.
shares of Merck. I'm not happy for my Regeneron, though.
Yeah, this is objectively good news. They were talking to Scott Gottlieb on CNBC, and they asked him, are we getting to a point where more people, there are already these people out there, but more people are going to be walking around going, yes, I'm not afraid of getting sick. I'm not afraid of COVID. And he was like, yeah. I mean, sure, there are people out there now that are not afraid of COVID, but there are still people out there that are terrified of COVID. I think the people that are terrified, that number's going to go way down.
Real quick too. Gilead's in the red, and I just looked up.
Remdesivir.
Well, also they make Tamiflu. Have you ever taken that Tamiflu when you have a bad flu?
Everyone
Dennis?
takes it.
Yeah, I mean, so if if there's not been as much flu, right? Because it's been COVID, so that's why you have Gilead
Well,
getting
no,
hit.
Gilead is down because of Remdesivir, Joel. It's 100%. They have a Regeneron. They have a competing drug with Regeneron. So it's down because of the Merck pill. Regeneron down 3.5% because competing drugs. So when you have competing drugs come out, obviously those drugs get hit. Gilead has a COVID drug.
Are
That's
less
for
people getting the
people
flu
are
and
getting
more
hurt.
people getting
Remdesivir.
COVID? Less people are getting the flu too, so there's going to be less demand for.
That would a theory, but I'm just saying. This morning,
Yes.
people just didn't wake up and all of a sudden say, "Oh, there's the flu." They're hitting Gilead because it's got Remdesivir. So it's
New high.
It's an obvious hit.
We're up at the highs, folks. 43.18. We're up 19 and a half handles. 43.17. They're pressing this right into the open. It looks like. Not much up here, or there was not much on the way down yesterday. Not much resistance on the way up. So what a way to start the quarter, huh?
Yeah. Well, exactly right, Joel. Exactly right. You know who's probably not in a great mood this morning?
Me?
Is Kathy Wood. Well, besides you, is Kathy.
Like Kathy.
Kathy Wood
Why?
was tweeting last night. She is not happy about the Zoom 5-9 merger being voted down. She's upset about this, but that's what happened yesterday. Essentially, what it came down to was the stock portion of the deal, right? When you factor in what Zoom shares have done, and the fact that it was a stock and cash takeover. I think the 5-9 shareholders were like, we're not getting enough juice for this. So and there's a big proxy firm that threw their weight around, I think, in this takeover vote. But it was voted down by 5-9 shareholders, and that's the end of that.
They're pretty brave there. I mean, look at the move that this stock has had. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it's holding support. There's some super extra major monthly support at 150, 151 area. I know it's a ways away from that, but I don't know. I mean, if they think, I don't know I really don't know this company, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the price was or whatever. They voted it down. I don't know. How's Zoom trading on it?
Well, so the merger, so Joe, the merger was announced on July 18th, which was a Sunday. So July 19th was your first trading day of Zoom and Five9 of like post merger announcement. So go figure out where Five9 was then. I know it was higher. It was above
a
where it
lot
is.
higher. Yeah,
Yeah.
here it was on the 19th. It was, Zoom was, oh, 5.9 you want to see. July 19th was right here. Got the pop. See, that's the thing, folks. And I don't know how many times we've seen this over the years, Dennis. News comes out, there's a takeover, there's rumors, and you get the pop, and the longer it takes, to people to vote it down. I mean, it's hard. Sometimes someone comes in with a higher bid and, but a lot of time, look at that now. I mean, you had all kinds of time to sell that thing over 200. And now what? You hit the bid at 161 and a quarter. I just think that's just a general rule of thumb for me I haven't had that many stocks have been taken over, but I think it started, what was that one merger that went on for like 2 years?
Well,
When
there's well,
we
there,
were downtown, right, I was downtown. It was in Pharma. Oh, the
Pharma.
German company was taken over.
Was it Bayer and
Yeah.
It's been a lot of mergers.
yeah. Wait, real fast. I misspoke. This deal was an all stock deal, not a stock and cash deal. So it was
Yeah, who wants some Zoom stuff?
I traded this. I traded this a lot. This FIVN versus Zoom, but obviously, it breaks down. And obviously that relationship is separated now. So I don't know. Thoughts are actually it's interesting that both stocks are rallying on it. So I guess then the shareholders didn't want it to happen. 5.9 shareholders voted it down. So Zoom's obviously not paying the premium that they I guess were paying. I think it was Zoom buying it, right? Like it was a merger of
it was
stock.
200. It was Zoom buying it for $200.28.
Yeah, well, in stock. So that's why it moves around.
Right.
So it's broke down. It is what it is. They're separated now for you risk arb traders out there. Interesting though, you never usually see when a merger breaks down, both stocks go up. So maybe this wasn't a marriage made in heaven.
But also, as I pointed out, I mean, where was 5.9 when the merger was announced? It was at 160 something, right? No,
Yeah.
180, 190.
Yeah, back to where it was.
Well, we're at
Below
160.
where it was.
No, it
Here's
was
the
below where it
gap
was.
up day. Here's
Yeah.
the gap up day. Yep, July 19th.
So we're
Kathy didn't have a lot. I read Kathy's note, and she didn't have a lot of nice things to say about 5.9.
no. She was not happy with.
I don't know if she was not happy, but she was like saying Zoom's better off without 5.9.
Oh,
what
was
that
she?
note was saying. Oh yeah.
Oh,
was
then I
saying that.
misinterpreted. I thought she was angry that
She might be angry that the merger didn't go through, and maybe this is what she says after the fact, but it was very clear in that note, which was a 2-pager, and I don't think she wrote it, but she retweeted it out as from the company.
Okay.
That 5.9, she said 5.9 will need Zoom more than Zoom will need 5.9.
Yes, right. She said that part I remember reading, and yeah. So I think she was also a little bit
bitter,
alarmed. Again, there was this proxy firm, ISS or whatever they're called, that this is like an issue that like comes up like once a year, I feel like, and it's like really like inside baseball thing. But when these proxy firms, or even firms like Vanguard and BlackRock that like they hold all these shares via indexes, and if they would ever like throw their weight around on like a corporate action like a merger, for example, like like should BlackRock have all this power because they own all the shares because they have it all in the indexes? Should Vanguard have all this power because like if they wanted to, they could like get stuff done
for sure.
But but they don't really throw their weight around, which is a thing they get talked about inside of baseball. Not really,
inside baseball.
Yeah.
5.9 is a provider of intelligent cloud software to connect. I don't know. I don't even know what the heck they do. I don't know why they wanted to buy them.
I don't know what they do either.
So complicated. Okay.
I don't know what half these tech companies do. I just gotta know what they're related to.
I knew it wasn't FIVE, so I feel like I'm doing good on that. But all right, what else, Spencer? Wow.
Yeah, it's 8:25. We talked about two things. Do you want to talk Bitcoin for a second here? I not that I was looking for a reason this one. Not that Bitcoin needs a reason to go higher. I know Powell was speaking yesterday, and he said he's not going to ban Bitcoin, which is good. But does anyone in the chat know why? What led to that spike this
It's
morning?
just sleepy.
Was it?
It's just been sleepy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in a trade, to me, it was just like people were trying to press it 240, press it 240, press it 240. They couldn't, and then offers get a little thin on the upside, and it doesn't need a reason. Trading range, maybe we're heading back to 50 on this, pretty darn close. Well, 48.04 right now. I just don't sell a sleeping market.
I
That's the
mean,
only thing
I
I
mean,
can
you can
say.
go the same thing with AMC's move yesterday. Not comparing Bitcoin to AMC, but these are social media influenced. And AMC all of a sudden just yesterday, it's going down, 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 and the rip your face off rally if you're short the thing yesterday. So GME, same story. We know our relationship trade those two stocks together. And then you started seeing some of the meme stocks actually showing some life, but that was a wicked afternoon rally in AMC. I know,
Wow.
media attributing it to apes not leaving. But and maybe that is the case because this thing is social media driven. But these when you have a stock or you have an asset moving down, 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 there's always wicked spikes. There's same thing when you're moving up, up, up like an elevator. It's down and down like or up like an elevator. Down like a or up like an escalator, down like an elevator. It's the same thing. It's opposite when stocks going down. Down like an escalator, up like an elevator. It's just the way they work. So you get these wicked spikes when you have these moves because obviously that's a counter trend move. All of a sudden, you're catching people and they have to reposition quickly.
The chat's saying that Bitcoin's up because it's October. I don't know if I guess I don't know enough about Bitcoin's performance in October to know whether or not that October is a good month for Bitcoin. I have no idea. It is notable that a bunch of the Bitcoin miners came out today with their monthly mining figures for September. That's BITF has some data. They're trading higher, but it also could be trading higher with Bitcoin, right? So
Ethereum get a nice pop too.
not as much. Yes.
Yeah, it's up 9%.
Yeah.
These things never seem to pop as much as Bitcoin.
Yeah, you're right.
Ethereum?
They do.
No, the miners.
Yeah. What's the one you
Oh,
love,
some of
Dennis?
them pop more. Some of them do. Mara's up 9%. Riot's up 7.59%. So it depends on the day, but I think that their beta is. I think they're actually pop. They usually move more than Bitcoin.
Really?
Maybe
And I
not
think they
today.
get hit more on the downside too.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're like leverage plays on Bitcoin.
I don't know.
And
Just to me, it's like I'm
there's
looking at it.
MSTR too is a big one. It's up 6%.
Yeah, I'm looking at this at
36%.
2750, and still, I'm looking at it on a relative basis. Bitcoin is what 10, 15. I don't know. It just seems like it should be trading like at 34, 35 if it was that correlated with Bitcoin. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
I
long
don't know.
term they lag. Like, okay, so short term they on any given day they have these moves, but long term it's just like it's a valuation issue for a lot of these things. You've had
Mhm.
higher multiple stocks getting hit. Riot is a higher multiple stock, so
There
you
you
have
go.
other aspects that are in play there. And any stock, and this is what you've got to always consider. Like I'm all about information, new information on Merck, but you're juggling multiple balls. There's multiple traders in there for different reasons. What is happening? We've had a contraction in high multiple stocks. So Bitcoin is one impact on Riot, but it also is impacted by the contraction in high multiple stocks, which we've seen over the course of the last few weeks. You can bring up ARKK to clearly see it. It is your indicator. Like Warren Buffett is your indicator for value stocks, ARKK is your indicator for high growth, high multiple stocks. ARKK has not had a good month at all. So that's giving you the indicator that high multiple stocks have been coming in. And we've been talking about the moves, even like good companies like CrowdStrike, getting hit like 20 points the other day. So Riot is a victim of that to a certain extent too. Mara, same story. But I own the Bitcoin, and I own the Ethereum, and I've got the Hive blockchain because of our friend Frank Holmes, and I just believe in that guy. I think he knows what he's doing, and actually that company actually does make money right now, which I like that as well. A little bit high valuation, but it's a way to participate. Speculative capital and Hive blockchain.
What's the symbol on that one again?
HIVE. Frank
Yeah,
stock.
Hive.
Frank comes on our show like he seems like one of the smartest people, man. I like to invest with smart people. Like when people come on our show, Michael Pachter comes on, and he knows his stuff way better than I do. I'll go with him. And Frank knows all this stuff way better than I do, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stuff. And if he's got a business that's profiting from Bitcoin and Ethereum mining, he's going to know a lot more than I know. So that's why I'm sticking with Frank on that. Yes, you're paying a higher multiple, but Hive's making some money. That again, though, is a speculative investment. Anytime you're buying a $2 stock, it's not like a hardcore portfolio investment. It's speculative capital because $2 stocks can go to zero, but they
You
can
know
also
your
go to
risk.
20.
Yep. Look at Merck. Merck will not give in. Look at this.
Wow.
Back
It's the
up
story of the
again.
day.
It's the story of the week.
Yeah. So a stock that is that hot and gets the hot story doesn't just all of a sudden implode back to $76.
Nope.
Is it going to stay up here, or is in 2 days or next week we'll be talking about something different and Merck will start to leak? I tend to think it'll start to leak next week. Is it going to rip up to 83 or 85 today? It could. I don't think it is. It could. Again, full disclosure, Merck is one of the largest positions in my long-term portfolio. I bought it back during the financial crisis, and I bought it at $26 or $27. I've sold some shares, but I still have a lot. So full disclosure, I'm fully long Merck.
8160 was your yearly high, and boom, just like that, you're there. 8160 was your high in January.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
What's the all-time high, Merck?
All-time high in Merck was made not in 2019. It got to
Was it though?
No,
Go
no.
back
No, it
further.
was because I sold that thing at 90, like 100 years
I
ago.
have
Never
96.
rebought it.
I have 96.69
back
I-
during
at the
the
peak
tech
of
bubble.
yeah.
I remember that. Yep, you're right. I
No,
remember that.
21
November-
years ago,
Wish I
we were
would've bought it
still
then.
trying to get back to all-time highs. Again, this is why you don't pay 50 or 60 times earnings for a drug stock.
Wow.
Because when the multiple contraction happens, you sit there for 21 years trying to get your money back. That's why I'm a value guy. That's why I'm a long-term value investor. Right there.
Oh, what a move. What a move.
81.75, knocking on the door of 82. Wow. Right up here, right at the high, the pre-market high. Spoo's got a little tired there, got to 43.20 and a quarter. As I said, we've already exceeded the average daily range. So a little bit of profit taking here, perhaps going into that open.
Where it is chopping around.
Yeah, chopping around. 81.80, man. There's probably some shorts in that, some sleepy shorts here. Oh, I'm going to bring this back in at 70, and now they're scratching their head. And whew, I don't know. There you go. Merck up 8%.
Look, as we said, this is like an objectively good headline for like society. So let's all take
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to
is this like
shamelessly tell you all, if you're in a good mood like me, hit that like button because I'm in a good mood.
yeah, Spencer,
This
because
is
you
good
just don't want to.
news.
He's not
He's
long
still-
Regeneron, so he's happy.
I'm not long Regeneron.
You just
Yeah.
don't want to lose that $100 to me.
Joel,
So
I am not
you-
going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. When I came in this morning and I saw the SPY was at 425 or whatever, 426, I thought, and I look back at last week, like SPY
you
was
got the low.
SPY was at last week's low. It was right there, and I thought, "Oh man, this is gonna be
It
a
took it
really
out. It took it out by 30 handles. When I think it was a little North Korea, I don't know what the exact time was. But the question is, and I'm gonna ask Triple D, is this a November 9th moment here? Do you put this up here with November 9th? Remember when
that was
that's
the day.
when Pfizer?
It was
That's
Pfizer.
when
That
Pfizer
No,
came out?
No, not that much of a reopening, because that was like a game changer where we had we didn't have any, like, we didn't know the out, we didn't know how long it was going to be, we didn't know anything. And I mean, we had a reopening trade to the tune of like airlines going up 50-80% in a matter of a week. So no, I do not anticipate that happening. I think this is just a nice alternative. And I think you're going to get a reopening trade today. Could the airlines pop 3 to 5% on this? Sure. Could the cruise lines pop 3 to 5% on this? Sure. Are they going up 25, 30, 50% on this? I don't think so. House of Mouse, though. Let's go to this because this is a reopening stock. It's also a stay-at-home stock. I absolutely, I like I've been saying with Disney Plus, I think they got problems with Disney Plus right now. They need to figure that out. But the parks, this is good news for the parks. More good news for the parks. Disney has been absolutely crushed, which is why I'm bringing it up. It is at critical support right now, but it is lifting on this. Do we get a bounce off this support here, Joel, because we got the whole reopening thing going? Making the argument to maybe try this
I
out.
don't know. I mean, it's been knocking on. I mean, you got a level, right? You got a level to lean on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I got a catalyst.
And you got a catalyst on 169.03. That was low. And you hit 169.17 yesterday. So if you're buying it up, a buck 33, you got a level to lean on. Also on the monthlies here, you had a low a while ago, 167.10. If you want to give yourself a little bit of room, bit of trading range. So hey, you're at the lower part of the trading range. See if it can hold. House and mouse here, trading up. Pre-market high 170.70 if you're looking for some more follow through. And I'm sure yesterday's high was way up there. 173.68. But we had a big tumble in the markets.
I want to come back to this. Jorge just asked in the chat if children can take the Merck pill. I don't know, Jorge. I don't know if they tested it on children. That's probably a whole separate thing. We may have to wait.
Yeah.
We may have to wait longer for that. I want to talk EVs for a second here because it is every month we get new delivery numbers from all the EV makers. We did not get Tesla yet, but I am expecting to, unless we got it in the last 2 minutes, and I'm expecting to get Tesla's numbers for the month of September at some point today. Regardless, we got numbers from NIO. They were great. They exceeded their guidance. That's all you need to know. LI, Li Auto, came in within their guidance. And XPeng, XPEV came in above their guidance. So XPEV and NIO above guidance. LI, Li within their guidance. That's the story here. Also, Ride didn't report deliveries, obviously, because they don't have any. But Ride is trading higher today because they confirmed the Foxconn deal. They updated their guidance as it pertains to that. So a bunch of EV stocks trading higher this morning for a couple of reasons.
Again, the news with Ride, when they're rallying on bad news, what is seemingly bad news, it might be good news, or it might be, they've just got some hope here too. The EV trade, the smaller EV stocks, we talked about it yesterday morning, is starting to show some life. I kind of, wish I would have bought more Fisker yesterday. I've actually been meaning to buy more. I had the pullback, and now it's up 40-50 cents here this morning.
Wow.
So not the day to buy it when it's up 50 cents. Ride has, I think it had downside capitulation of $4.77. I mean, obviously, hindsight capital is 2020, but we've had some bad headlines in the last month, and it continues to shrug those off and go higher. So where it ends up, who knows? We know this. It could possibly go to 0. It could possibly go back to 20. I don't know if Marcus is still in. It would be nice to find out if he's still in the stock here. But it's having a nice morning here. It's up 9%. It was up last night even as well. So Ride looks okay to me right now from a technical
$9. $9 is pretty big. I keep an eye on that. Trading up 74 cents. Hit 9 yesterday. Pulled back hard. You hit 9 here. You hit 9 here. So boom, you did spike above there, but looks pretty wide open over $9 and Ride. Let's see, Fisker, FSR. When we talked about that Ride deal yesterday, I'm like, they're selling the company, they're selling the factory, they make it. It didn't make a whole lot of sense.
I don't think we have enough information. I think there were, because I know Philip Bowe was on CNBC and he was explaining it, and when he explained it, it's like, oh, it made more sense. I don't want to re-explain what Phil was saying on CNBC because I would butcher it, but I think there's a lot more to that story than just like, oh, they're selling their factory and they're able to make cars. It sounds to me like that they got other deals cooking. So, I've hated Ride for a long, long time. We know that. I hated it at 20. I hated it at 15. I hated it at 10. I hated it at 5. I hear at 8 today, I'm going to say, I'm not saying I'm going along it, but I'm saying, some of this stuff sounds like they're figuring some stuff out. And the stock technicals are better. So if you're just looking at a chart, it's a hell of a lot better looking right now today at 8 than it was at 5. And then people say you're nuts. 5, I'm already up 60%. But at 5, you're trying to catch the falling knife. At least it stopped going down here. I think it could see 10. So I'm going to say today, I know it's 874, but if you want to make a bet, Joel, I'm going to go on the side of Marcus. I think Ride sees 10 before it sees, you got to knock $1.25 off. So, because we're 875 here right now. So 750 versus 10. Want to do it?
I'll take that any day.
Mitch has got it. Yes! Off the top row.
No, because the way you
from nowhere. I didn't even see him coming.
From the top row.
Hits me.
From the top row.
The top row. Jimmy Superfly Snooker style.
You can't leave up that lunch up for the chopping.
What does that even mean?
If you win, Mitch, I'm gonna factor the lunch from Joel over to you. My accounts receivable is still pretty high on Joel's lunch. Okay, me and Mitch are in.
Dennis,
he's got $750. I got $10. Let's go.
I think this actually helped your Fisker trade though also
I think it did.
because
Yeah.
they had that deal with Foxconn, right, to create vehicles in the future. And that was always going to be talked that it was going to be made outside of the United States. If they have a factory or plant inside the United States, this could actually help that relationship with Fisker.
And you're seeing, I think so, because when Philip was talking yesterday, Fisker started rallying too. He was saying some stuff like that as well. So I still like Fisker. We know I'm long Fisker. It's the only small EV play I have. Pure speculative capital. So me and Mitch got a bet 750 versus 10
Yeah,
on
I don't
ride.
know. It's just this.
Wait, hold on. I'm running it was 10:05?
I don't know. That was just. I don't know. I don't have a
$10.
feel
Don't
for it up
cheat here. It's got to tick. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna go like 998. This is huge seller. 10. I'll never kiss it. Joel won that one bet with me like that, just touching it.
What about Dennis? What was that Jimmy Snicker thing you said?
Jimmy Superfly Snuka. You don't remember him? WWF off the top rope. Boom.
You know what? We were boy, this is really a quick tangent here. I was talking with Dana, and she was just talking about all the great actors that came out of the WWE, like The Rock, right? So like John Cena. And then who's the other one?
I don't know if I call John Cena a great actor, but
Mark Ruffalo or Ruffalo. What's his name?
No,
he wasn't a wrestler.
No.
There was someone else, and she mentioned all these names, and I said, I go, why do you think that is? She goes, because wrestling's fake. And I said, well, what do you think about are we going to have all these UFC fighters in like 10 or a couple of them in 10, 15 years being like actors and movie stars? I don't think so. So what's that company that bought UFC?
They already are.
Who's that company that bought UFC?
Endeavor, EDR.
How's that doing?
Well, they doing great because now they're in sports betting. So
29. What's going on at 29? Whoo! That's a number there.
Speaking of sports betting, when's DKNG going to stop going down? I tried it long and I got stopped out. I kind of still want to be long, but it won't stop going down.
One more quick.
Stock and just going straight down. I got punished because I thought that little level of 50.5 was going to hold. I was wrong. Went right through it. It stopped there for a day. I had that trade on for 2 days before I got stopped out. What do you think?
One more quick
sports betting. Joel's theory of sports betting being dead is playing out here in DKNG.
You know what? I like the Lions getting the points this week. And what's the over under in that Lions Chicago game?
It might be like
19.
7.
Is it 19? The over under? I mean, they had 1 yard of passing in Chicago last game. I think
how can you even talk about the Lions?
I'm bullish the Lions.
Talk about the Lions.
I should have worn my Lions shirt today instead of my Michigan. Ooh, we're at Wisconsin, so I may be in a bad mood on Monday.
All right, I'm bringing us back here. I'm bringing us back. We were talking about Disney earlier, and I want to go back to that space, but not to Disney, to Netflix. Did you guys see Netflix? We are at a new all-time high in Netflix. This was
Cobra Kai.
I think Netflix got like removed from like the FANG stocks because it wasn't at the cool kids table. Kick Netflix away because it wasn't cool anymore. But now it's cool again.
Cobra Kai.
I heard Pachter talking about this because they're getting into gaming now, right?
Yeah.
And he was on CNBC. He was doing good. We got to get him on, but we have Tim on Mondays. He likes to come on Mondays. And he said that, people used to watch, 3-4 hours of TV a day, right? And no one really thought anything of it, right? Well, now I never watched that much TV, but he's saying now they're watching some TV, but they're, people his age are gaming. And so he thinks it makes sense for Netflix and that, it's going to help them down the line. I could take, the other side of that coin, but he was sounded pretty positive on Netflix here. So we'll have to get Mr. Pachter on again soon.
I mean,
Dennis, are you getting hit on some bids here? We hit 43.20 and a quarter.
I'm trying to work in and out of some stuff, but
you can leave if you want.
This is a challenging morning. I will tell you that much. And obviously, when you're long in your overnight portfolio of Moderna and Regeneron, it's going to be a challenging morning, which continues to be very challenging. But we have seen so much chop here today. Again, you are seeing separation though, and you are seeing a sneaky reopening trade here. IWM is starting to separate from the SPY. It's starting to lift. It's been slow though. It hasn't really, jumped out, but the airline's clearly higher. The cruise line's clearly higher. And you're starting to see some tech stocks start to show some weakness because don't forget, You got, if everybody's going back and doing their normal thing, they're not staying at home on their Facebook, and they're not staying at home. You riding their Peloton, which is trading in the red, and they're probably not doing as many Zoom meetings, but Zoom is up because of this 5.9. I think this is now another fabulous opportunity to sell Zoom. I still
Look
hate
at
Zoom.
Merck snuck over 82, Dennis. Snuck over 82.
I
absorbed
should have
all
said
that paper,
Yeah.
and now, I
When
don't
when
know.
when Dennis said a half hour ago he wouldn't chase it, I should have stepped in and say no, I would chase it, but I didn't say anything. But
Should I? Oh man, I don't know. Hey, Dennis, high of the day in Merck for
It could be. I wouldn't chase it. Like I said, I'm long it, so I'm completely talking
a
against my
Molson?
book here.
I wish I had. I'm gonna have to check my portfolios. I don't think I have Merck.
You
in
don't even
any
know
of
if you
them.
own Merck in the long-term portfolio. You know you
Yeah.
don't check your portfolio a lot when you don't know which stocks you own.
Well, because I'll sell them if I look at them.
Well, that's the truth. And
right.
that's the problem. That's why I don't log into my long-term but I kind of still know what I own. But I try not to log into my long-term portfolio. Like I log in there like once every few weeks.
What's that data? What's that data that came out at 8:30? I think it's the data culprit here. Did we have? We had some kind of. I'm like.
yeah, we had a
corner of
bunch
my
of
eye.
stuff. We had like personal spending. I mean, no,
What if this market goes red today?
Okay.
no.
Why couldn't it? We were red all morning. When did this news come out? When did the Merck news come out?
Oh, I could
Yeah.
just go to the chart.
6 a.m. I think.
I could
But
tell
we
you.
were still red. We didn't rally right off the hop. That's Merck rallied. When did the Merck news break?
I'll tell
6
you.
o'clock. We were way down at 6 o'clock. It did not just all of a sudden blast off into orbit on. I think Merck is a catalyst, but it took an hour. It was a good hour after that before we went positive. We were down at 6 a.m. We were down.
We
like
were down a lot.
25
I
minutes.
know. I was looking at it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy mackerel. I'm like,
There was an opportunity there for sure if you were quick and just saying,
Right
hey, I
here.
think eventually we're going to start to turn around because of this Merck news. I don't think this is a driver for the overall market. I think this is more of a driver for the airlines, the cruise lines, and the reopening stocks. And I actually think this is this is not good for your tech stocks. I honestly think that. So if you're coming in buying tech stocks this morning on this Merck news, I think you're on the wrong side of the trade.
It came out at 6:01.
Okay.
We were down at that, and we were down at 6:30. We were still hard in the red. We didn't have a hardcore rally off that Merck data.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Merck. It's 6:01. There you go. That's when they start. This is the 1 minute. You guys know I don't like going to the 1 minute, but I did it for you. So let's go back to the ESZ21. It's 6:01. Where were we? Boom, 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 boom. Right here. Well, I mean, you're right, Dennis. You're right. Here's 6:01.
I was trading. I know.
42.74. And
Okay,
they even gave you a pullback on it. I don't know if we go red today.
Why not?
Off this.
Why not? This isn't like. There's a lot of other issues happening. It wasn't.
That's what
COVID.
I told you.
Okay. Let's stop for a second.
Spencer.
Okay, that's what Joel said. That's exactly what Joel said. And you're both right. There's inflation and supply chain this and labor shortage that, but it
this
can
all drug isn't helping that.
But
yeah, that's not going to help. Yeah,
but it can all be traced back to COVID, right? That was the genesis of all this in the first place.
Yeah, does this make China all of a sudden like bullish? You're going to run out and buy Alibaba.
Okay. And before anyone
does Alibaba go down, the only consistent trade out there is stock market goes up, Alibaba goes down. Stock market goes down, Alibaba goes down. It's the only thing that's consistent. Baba goes down every bloody day. When does Baba go up? It's today. It's got the good news. We got the market and Baba's down again. Sometimes China stocks are up, not Baba. Not today.
You know what? It's worth it to send somebody to China and then just look for Jack Ma. And then
where is Jack Ma?
If you find Jack Ma, you just start lifting offers. And,
Joel, do you volunteer?
Back to this again. We don't.
What'd you say?
Jack Ma.
Joel, are you volunteering? Is that what that is?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Leave the state, maybe.
We got to call Dog the bounty hunter to go get Jack Ma.
That's a great idea, man. That's what we should do. I think Dog is a little busy right now. But yeah, we should get Dog.
TV show? Is that a TV show?
Yeah. He's never mind. Wait. Oh, you know what? Dennis was talking about the reopening stocks. I will kindly bring Airbnb to your attention this morning. It is a stock that I am long, talking my book a little bit, but
okay.
yeah.
That was the one stock that I gave when we did it at our event. When was that? Our first event?
It was a month ago.
A little over a month. How come I can't remember the day? What's wrong with me?
It was
Getting
September.
old.
It was
tell you
August. It was August. It was August 21st.
what- oh.
Well, quite a dip after that. But anyways, yeah, Airbnb. Do you have some news on it today? What's going on?
No news. It's just reopening stocks. That's all I was saying.
You know sometimes, and I write these up sometimes in my pre-market prep stock of the day. Sometimes the analysts get it right, and then sometimes it's the biggest fade in the world. And I think Mitch got stopped out on this day here, and that was a Goldman Sachs downgrade right here, and they stopped everybody out. I remember that. I'm sure Mitch remembers, but this was, yeah. And I remember it traded down to 155, then it closed at 160.32. And I'm like, wow, that thing bounced $5 off the low. Never even sniffed it since.
This
So
is the market that you're actually doing a lot better if you're not using stops. And when you're chopping around, because think about what a stop really is. A stop is, when the stock starts going down, you're selling the dip is really what you're doing in essence using a stop. I'm not advocating against stop orders, but I am saying that in a contrarian market, in a fading market, you're kind of getting stopped out on everything. Same thing with your affirm trade, Spencer. If you wouldn't use stops, you'd be way up right now. So not advocating against stops. It's the way we protect.
It sounds like you are to me.
But in a contrarian market, which is what we're in right now, where you're selling the rip and buying the dip, a stop is in essence selling the dip. So I mean, I always find it better to manage it, but I'm sitting here, so I don't have to use stops. Like I say, I got stopped out, but really it's a mental stop, and I work the trade when it hits a thing. Then I might work it a little bit, but at the same time, if you're not at your desk 24 hours a day, 7 days or 5 days a week, you probably need to use stops just to manage the risk.
Yeah. And again, I was away from the computer all week, so that's how
you didn't really have a choice.
how I managed the risk. There's not great Wi-Fi at the beach.
and you know what? And you didn't go to your services on Yom Kippur. So
Whoa! I absolutely did.
you did?
I went
You
at night.
zoomed it?
I went at night. Both nights.
Oh, it was
Twice.
Rosh Hashanah you missed.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Anyway, okay. Hey, it's 8:52 on a Friday. It's ticker time. Drop your tickers in the chat. We will take a look, and then for the next 8 minutes, we will look at whatever you want to look at here. And so let's see what we got in the chat.
Upstart.
A lot of these we talked about that yesterday.
We're talking about it every day. It's been a good stock, but
All right.
It's getting tired, Joel. It's been such a run on Upstart. Look at August, $133 to $316. This is like nosebleed territory. You're up at the top of Mount Everest. Are we going to fall off the cliff, or are we going to continue to climb? How high are we up? Have we seen the peak of Mount Everest, or does it continue?
UPST.
I know. Yeah, I was looking at a firm there.
You can look at that. That goes right with it.
Look, you had a little dip here, right? You hit 346. We looked at this yesterday. You had a 42 point move, 21. I'm still looking at this 325. And I remember doing this from yesterday. 325, that's halfway back. That's what you need to clear, or else you got some more work to do on the downside. And then I also remember saying this, the old-time closing high is what I would focus on here if you're really worried about the stock or you're thinking of selling it. The old-time closing high, that's way up there at 36.34. So I don't know. Got to clear 325 closing basis. I think you take out the 304 low.
A couple people are asking about FedEx here. Has it bottomed is the question.
You know what? We forgot to ask Mark about his FedEx theory because, he was like, FedEx.
Such a tough stock.
Look at that.
I know. I sold this at 260 and I went to 320 and I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Now it's feeling at 220 and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling better about that sale now. I honestly, this is just the classic case of when you have a stock in a downtrend and it gaps down on earnings, they don't bounce back as easy as a stock in an uptrend gapping down on earnings. Very basic, simple, but you can see classic case. You have overhead supply gaps down. They've caught even more people and has continued to leak. It is oversold on every probably indicator you can look at. So eventually it will probably have a bounce. Where that bounce happens, who knows? Trying to call the day. People have been trying to call the day for the last 7 days. And it goes down every day. Valuation's attractive. I don't think FedEx going away. They are obviously, there's a number of issues hitting them as well. At 200, I think I might reload it in my
Yeah, that's
long-term
halfway
portfolio.
back from the March low.
Yeah,
That
maybe
that thing.
200. It's on my
Yeah.
watch list to reload it though.
It's been down like 8 out of 10 sessions, and the up
Oh,
sessions
yeah.
have been just minuscule. And so I don't know. I mean, you can lean on the low here, and just keep an eye on the daily highs. You're not even at yesterday. Make sure you get if you're trading this today and you think this is the bottom end, make sure it clears 23.17. That was a high yesterday. You haven't even sniffed that yet in the pre-market.
All right, I saw someone here yesterday asking about Corsair, so we'll go to Ogun in the chat. CRSR, he's asking about.
Oh man, these gaming stocks.
Nice support, ugly trend. So I'd say if you want to take a shot, you think you're going to have turnaround Friday here on a lot of the stocks that have had the crap kicked out of them. This is video games. Remember, this is a reopening trade. This isn't a reopening stock. This is more of a stay-at-home play. So it's maybe not the day to strike, but I will say $25 is major support. As long as you're above 25, that would be my out. It starts going through 25, I would sell it. If it goes below 25.
I'll just say good levels there. Monthly support 25.01 was your low in August. September 25.62. Maybe getting some of the big boys step up here. That's about all I have to say on Corsair.
All right, Jaime, SunPower, SPWR. There was a headline last night. They are being added to the S&P 500, right? Did I remember that correctly? Yes. No, the S&P mid cap 400 is what there's. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Yeah, SunPower being added to the S&P mid cap 400 effective. Yeah. What is that? The 5th? Effective? What's that? Tuesday? No, that's Monday. Effective Monday. No, it's not.
Triple D.
I'm long SunPower in the long-term portfolio, and for a swing trade, I was leaning on the lows. The long-term portfolio holding will not get sold. I'm in from $6 and I don't want to realize the gain. The short-term swing, which I bought, I've been all over the place in this thing. I think I bought it around 21.5 or 22.
Nice.
I was leaning on that low of the move 20.5. The short-term swing, I might lighten that up. I haven't decided here. We'll see what happens today, but I wouldn't be chasing it up here. Again, talking against my book. I'll probably sell the swing. I'm holding the long-term shares though.
25.5, and you almost got there in the pre-market. So after hours, excuse me. So that's a big level. 25.5. After that, you start, you work way in this candle, but that's all I got for you. 25.5 in SPWR.
We'll do one more. We'll do Adobe here. It's kind of the same thing as FedEx, right? Earnings, stock crushed.
No, completely different. Because Adobe was in a clear uptrend when they got hit on their earnings report.
All right, but
so completely different animal. Fine. But what you have seen is Adobe is trading with a higher multiple, and you have seen multiple contraction. You have seen tech starting to get hit. But again, trying to find life. So it is that in that way, Spencer, I'll agree with you.
Thank you.
It's straight down since earnings reports. So it doesn't matter that it was good or bad in this case. I think eventually Adobe gets bought just because it always does. Kramer was saying that every time Adobe dips, if you're long term, it seems like you're happy that you bought the dip, but it's a hell of a dip. Now you're talking about a stock that's 100 points off its highs. It's not cheap stock, though. I'll tell you that.
It took out the low. I mean, that's a big red candle on a monthly, and then you got a big green candle here. So not saying it's going to 500 or anything, but I don't know. You took out the low from July. I don't know if you want to be bullish this thing, keep an eye on the close, the month end close at 570, 572. If it holds that for a couple days, consolidates, then you can lean on it. But one biggest red candle I think this stock has ever had. Of course, it's at a higher level, but I don't know. Just looks a little bit. I don't know. 500.
It's hard to just call.
Yeah, why? There's a lot of other things I'd rather buy than.
There's a lot better setups for sure.
All right, that's going to be a wrap for pre-market prep today.
You made it, Dennis. Did you just let everything just simmer, or what did you do?
I'm trying to figure it out. So basically, I'd be okay if I didn't have Regeneron and Moderna in the overnight portfolio. Regeneron's on my long-term portfolio. It's not going anywhere. But I've already sold the overnight trade because it was obviously, overnights, like I said, you got to get rid of them all. So I ate 25 points on Regeneron, and I ate basically here because it really didn't give me much of a chance. And I ate myself 18 points on Moderna on the overnight portfolio. Hard to recover from that. Even though I had, I think, 70 overnight stocks, when you get 2 or 3 that you lose 5% on, it's going to be a tough day from an arbitrage perspective. So,
Well, it's Friday, so we'll be in touch with you. I'm going to hop off and missed a lot of symbols there. Join me on Pre-Market Prep Plus. And Spencer, I'll be back with you later on.
Dennis, thanks. See you later, Joel. Dennis, it's Friday and hockey's back, so it can't be the day can't be that bad.
My girl plays, the 4-year-old plays tonight and tomorrow. The boy, 6-year-old boy, plays tomorrow. So
right.
Actually, it's fun to watch because when the one thing in Ontario though, which I don't like, and in Ontario people might know, is they changed. Like when my boy was playing when he was 4 years old, it was all other 4-year-olds. They've merged them all. So they got literally 3 years of birthdays all on the ice for the same year in this initiation. So
that's
4,
scary.
5, and 6-year-olds all on the ice together. Now they've separated them because it's not fair that my 4-year-old is, going, playing hockey with a 6-year-old kid that's been playing for 2 years and she's still learning how to skate. So they kind of separate them on the ice and stuff. But I liked it better when my boy Spencer was playing because he was out just with other 4-year-olds and it was kind of going. So
all right, Dennis, have a good rest of your day. I hope it turns around for you, everyone. That's gonna be a wrap for us here today. Our next show is gonna go live like right now. We're live trading with Benzinga, myself, Ryan Faluna, Monty Mitch, Zunaid, and a special guest will be on at 10 o'clock today. We're going live. This is ending right now. We're going to redirect you right to that show. We're going live right now. So everyone smash that like button. Please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys over on the next stream.